The Last of Us season 2 episode 6. It was a final nail in the coffin. I don't care what anyone has to say in the comments. I don't care because they completely went off the rails with this one. And I know everyone's going to just completely like beat up this show on social media because if you haven't watched episode 6, you got to watch it right now. They took all the flashbacks from part 2, The Last of Us, and then they put it into one episode. So it was a Joel and Ellie episode, and it started off with the future days, a scene where he's playing guitar, and he's gonna give her a guitar, and then it also shows the dinosaur museum for a short while, but then it starts to go lower and lower and lower, like a stock market crash. She's sleeping with some chick, which is never in the game. The chick is in the game. I forgot her name, but she's sleeping with a chick that in the game it was mentioned that she was with her for a short time, and Joel opens the door and he finds them together, and he sees a tattoo obviously written by the chick that came over, and Ellie gets mad and she moves over to the garage, and it starts going down and down from there. The next part, Ellie and Joel, it's like she's like 18 now and or 19, and they're going through a patrol together, and they find the guy who is mentioned in the show way more than mentioned in the game. The guy who owned the weed farm, the guy who is married to the therapist, the guy who worked with Tommy and the Fireflies. They've met him out in patrol, and he was bit. And then Ellie was like, please, he has time. Stand over here and wait for me to get the horses so I can bring him to his wife, because the dude keeps saying, oh, let me see my wife, I need to see my wife, I need to say things to my wife. And then without showing it, they basically like without words say, yeah, he shot him because he's bit and he's gonna turn. And then Ellie comes, and then she's pissed. And then when Joel says to the chick who's married to the guy, Joel says, you know, he had to get shot. He said he had to get shot. And then Ellie just comes up and says, no, he was begging to see you. And then Joel just blew his head right off. And then like that, completely thrown out off of the bus. Ellie would never do that in the game, and they did that in the show, and I don't know why. I seriously do not know why they did that. Well, actually, but anyways, it just goes from there. After that, they give alternate perspective of the night where Dina kissed Ellie for the first time, and after that, they show that she didn't really walk past Joel when she saw him playing guitar on the patio. She actually walked up to him, like they show in the video game, and then they have this chat where he finally confesses to her that, you know, he saved her from the Fireflies, and that he killed them all so she could live. And then she of course, the Ellie and the, you know, she says like the things that she says in the game, and she doesn't forgive him. Of course, you know that. But what I'm here to say is that this show, it's just a money grab. It's not made with love. And you can see that this episode was made to glaze Joel, because they know that Ellie is such a weak character, that they did such a bad job with Ellie, that they made this episode so they could make just so they could make profit off of showing Joel as this saint. By he did so much for Ellie, yet Ellie just threw him under the bus and treated him like shit, even though he was saying, I love you, and you don't understand the things I've done for you. They're painting Joel in such a good light so that the people who never played the games, see, oh my god, I feel bad for Joel, this hot, sexy guy. He's he did all this stuff for Ellie, and Ellie's just like, oh, you suck. Why did you save me? I'm so ungrateful. Urgh. Ah, that's that's the whole episode. They're just painting Joel in a good light, and in turn, it's costing Ellie some like affection points from the viewers. Now everyone hates Ellie and everyone loves Joel, even though Joel's never going to be in the show again. They showed all the parts where Joel is going to show up in the game, so they don't have anywhere else to put Joel in the show again. So they really just sacrificed Ellie's likability, morale, in turn to make this character who's never going to show up again look super good. Like, why would you do that? Like, I can see why. You wanted to make money. You wanted for people who never watched the game, who never played the game, who don't really watch shows critically, to, you know, say, oh my god, I love this episode. It's so heartfelt. But in reality, it was such a cheap shot. And that's basically why I had to say. And if you watch more than 2 minutes of this, God bless you. You are literally a saint sent down from heaven. Thank you. But the show, I'm complaining, and I'm complaining even though this show could have easily not existed. But the thing is, why would you be happy with a Ford Focus when you know you could have gotten a Ferrari easily? Like, your mom gave you a Ford Focus, but then later you learn that she would have given you a Ferrari if you asked for it. That's why I feel like right now. And I know there's going to be a bunch of people in the comments who are going to say, man, you are just really a piece of shit for all saying all this stuff about this show and about the people who watch it. I do not care. You probably haven't showered in 2 weeks. Okay? So, shut your mouth.